And APB, American Protection Bureau, voted #1 best on Long Island for all your security needs. Call 631-390-9050. That's 631-390-9050. APB.
Berkowitz, Michael, and again, we didn't know each other, so I could see you're a pretty tough guy. So I wasn't sure what your demeanor was going to be, but I was thinking if I was that person meeting David Berkowitz, I was trying to figure out how I would feel. What were you feeling at that moment?
Probably awkward. I wouldn't say fear because, again, I've been acclimated to the prison system for a long time. So I'm not trying to sound tough, believe me.
Sure.
Just the fear wasn't there, it's just a matter of fact. But there was that awkwardness. Here's the face that I've seen a million times, documentaries, movies, what have you, and now we're face to face. Little surprised. He's 71 years old this year, and boy, was he energetic. I mean, he walks into the room more like a sprint. He's hunched over because of arthritis, sciatic nerve pains down his side. He sleeps on a mattress, and the springs come up, very uncomfortable. So, aside from the arthritis and from the sciatic nerve, the guy's probably one of the most energetic men. Sits down, very friendly, easy to talk to. During COVID-19, well, it was 2022, but you know how it is. The COVID-19 went on forever in some people's minds. So we both had...
Still going on.
So we both had masks on. It's comical. Here we are, right? Here's the irony. Okay, I got my mask on. David's got his mask on. David's the convicted serial killer. I'm the clergyman. David is a stickler for the rules. He keeps the mask on. Every time the CO walks away, I'm pulling the mask down. I realize in that moment that the line between good and evil is made with the dry erasable marker. Because here I am, the clergyman, breaking the rules. And here he is, the convict, and he's following the rules. So, that session, we decided it would be worth meeting and treating it as a qualitative research study and analysis. I would send him questions ahead of time, semi-structured interviews, and we would narrative form, going back to the womb all the way to present day. We would discuss his life, and we would glean what we call themes, thematic analysis, where you look for themes to surface in the data that's being collected. And I came up with 9 themes after spending 100 hours. Isolation, shame, abandonment, head trauma, de-individuation, cognitive distortions, defense mechanisms, resentment. And we explore these themes and how they correlated to violence in his story. And of course, as any behavioral scientist does, you do what's known as a literature review, which means you do studies on these subjects according to what other studies have shown. And, I elaborate on the relationship between isolation and violence and what the studies show, shame and violence, and then weave it in with David's own story. And after a year and a half, almost, a year and 10 months, finally put all those documents together into a book. The book came out in October. It ranked #1 new release on Amazon in the serial killer category for the first week, almost every day. Book has sold thousands just in a couple of months of being out. And yeah, so that was the first session, back on point, first session amongst 34 sessions.
So, Michael, being a pastor and a man of God, do you believe in good and evil?
Most definitely. I believe the line between good and evil is within the human heart. I believe that there's a potential for evil in everyone. In fact, this is one of the great challenges of the book that flies in the face of our cancel culture that likes to create a lot of categories and say that this group of people over here are canceled and, we're good. The book makes the challenge that anybody is capable of anything. And, of course, it's an evolution. You're not going to just go out and kill somebody tomorrow, maybe, but spend 6 months mulling over your resentments. Spend 6 months brooding over every bad thing that happened to you. Spend 6 months isolating from community, the people that love you. Spend 6 months justifying every wrong thing you do. And you'll be shocked at the kind of person you evolve into. This idea that we're good people and psychopaths are the other person, it's not me. The other people will do these things, never me. It's really a contemporary idea. Most of literature, whether it be the literature of psychology, religious literature, even fiction, speaks of mankind's depravity and potential for evil. I mean, the Bible says it in Jeremiah 17. It says the heart of man is wicked and deceitful. The psychology data shows that time and time again. History proves that. When you go back to 1940 Germany, the majority of Germans were on the wrong side of history. The majority. We like to empathize with the heroes in history, but the truth is, if we were in 1940s Germany, we probably would have did things that we regretted very much so. And we would have probably been carried away in committing maybe misdeeds, acts, maybe hiding someone, maybe whatever. Because the potentiality for evil, I believe, is a hidden psychopath in everybody. And David Berkowitz's story is not so much the monster from the abyss. It's more like the boy next door who over a period of time evolves into one of America's most notorious killers.